of our late mail adventure. Thursday, JM will return with Fading Suns, and our regularly scheduled episodes will be back online. Just as a reminder, today, the Gods of Aventuria crowdfund went live, and I backed it. I'm happy to say it's already funded, so you should check it out on Ulysses. Game on Tabletop is where they're doing the crowdfunding. Check out Gods of Aventuria and the Theater Nights campaign. You can get the bundle if you'd like. And if you're interested in the Dark Eye, I would say it's almost essential to get that. The other thing is this weekend is Ulysses Con. The link is in the show notes. So you can see that link for this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's an online con since, we're all stuck at home and we can't go to a real convention yet. But soon, maybe next year we'll be able to see everybody at Gen Con or something. So last week, to get into the game, Rodrigo, we'll say sweet talked Alric out of the items that he inherited from the elf and convinced him that it was far safer to let our intrepid group of heroes take the risk against those who were greedy and might cause him harm for a split of the take. Not that Alric seemed too concerned about that, but he happily handed over his inheritance, and Rodrigo is planning to run off with it. I'm not sure. So the night passed. It's the next morning, and forgot to mention this. I know no one got wounded, but John's character spent some AE, and you had 2 nights of rest, and each day you get 2 recovery periods. So you can roll your D6, any bonuses you might have from perks, 4 times, because you had 2 nights rest to recover your AE. I don't think anyone was damaged that need to recover their life points, but this would also be where they could roll to recover their life points. I don't even think they worked up a sweat in that fight, but so more than likely Preodin will have recovered his AE. Yes?
So that's just a D6 for each rest, and that's how many you recover?
Yeah, so right now you're up to 46 because you had 2 for the first night, 2 for this night. Because you spent a night, you got there, spent the night, so you get to recover. And now, if you have any
regeneration, John?
Huh?
You didn't take increased regeneration?
I don't think so. I don't see that on here. Oh, yes, I did.
Yeah.
Yes, you do a D6 plus 2.
Yeah, you get a bonus depending on how many levels of increased regeneration you did.
Yeah, so he's a D6 plus 2. So you draw D6 plus 2, D6 plus 2. Once you've recovered your max, you're done. More than likely, you're good. I don't think you really expended a lot of AE in that fight.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. And again, this is where you would have recovered your life points if you needed to rest and recuperate. In this case, you just rested. Is there anything else Rodrigo wanted to share or other party members wanted to inquire about?
So Rodrigo had given me one of the stones.
The one stone.
Right.
Yeah, you kind of did your, I think this is this. You figured out it's the glowing Gwen Petrol stone.
We rolled myths and history and lore and stuff.
Yep. You have a very rough sketched map and directions. Do you peruse those in the evening before you, because you said you didn't want to head out at night, so I kind of just assumed that you were going to spend the night at the farmer's house. You informed him that you were going to go do your thing. Because remember, you spent the day for the Harvest Fest, did all those activities. Yeah.
Have we convinced Hannaford to come with us? We definitely need
you'll have to ask Hannaford. You'll have to ask Hannaford.
Yes.
I remember Bosper had a conversation with you away from the party.
Correct.
And role play.
Have you slept well? Can I get you anything?
Uh,
I can milk a goat for you if you need.
oh, that's okay. We are, as you know, strangers to this area, and so as we go to check out what we find here, it would be very helpful, and we would very much appreciate it if we could have your companionship and local knowledge to help us inform how to. And I'm sure the mayor and the other people in the town would feel a lot more confident if someone local was going with us.
So you want me to leave the feast day when they're serving the bull? Fine.
Wait, so they're serving the bull the day after it was danced?
Yes, they sacrifice it, hang it, let it age a little bit, and then the next day is the big feast.
Oh,
They'll probably cook it in the pit.
All night.
Yeah. Well, yes, that's what we're asking.
But I can't have you wandering off telling the bandits that they can go free, can I?
I know. And I had an idea that maybe some of those bandits, maybe they got a relationship with the Jasper or Burgle, or, you know, I don't know.
What
I
makes
don't
you say
have a
that?
greater confidence in those folks that were yelling at my friend Alric.
Well, I don't know why you'd think just because they're a little greedy that they would be running off to the bandits now.
They might have an understanding. I don't know. It's just a thought.
When do you plan on making this endeavor?
You know, setting up. I put on my work clothes. They are very nicely tailored, and they are all dark. And I'm ready to go now. Here in the morning after we got our porridge.
I hope you're planning on bringing tons of water, because you're gonna sweat yourself silly in that crazy getup.
Is it a blue crust velvet?
I know. Again, it's a work clothes, but they're very nicely tailored. They show off my calf to very good effect.
So you say.
He's got many a compliment walking the streets of Vinsall.
Actually, people are not supposed to see me in this because they're my night sneaking clothes. But you know, they're very flexible and comfortable.
So how do you plan on finding whatever it is you're looking for?
We're going to use this map. Does any of this look familiar?
Yes, it will look somewhat familiar to Hannaford. It's a really rough, hand-drawn kind of go north and, you know, hand-drawn little mountains. But you kind of figure out, okay, that's the valley they're talking about. And you think you could probably, with the map, help them find their way there.
I have grazed my flock there many a time.
This is going to
Is
work
that
perfect.
a euphemism, or are you serious?
How do you think I got so strong? I'm good at protecting things. I'm a shepherdess.
Well, now we know. I did not know before.
You don't get these. But, spinning wool,
So you lifted them? What? Oh.
you do on occasion need to lift the sheep over things, yes.
Well, you learn something new every day.
Hmm.
That you do. Now, examining the map, sketches, and some descriptions, you do make out, since you have Foxian, reference to several traps. So you should be duly warned, I guess.
That's Hannaford knows of traps. Is that what you're saying?
No, it would be Nico and Rodrigo will notice. Foxian is a special language of
Okay.
certain people.
The underworld.
So it would just be as, you see a little scratch and a symbol on the map doesn't mean much to you, but to them it would be trap here. Or at least warn there's a trap here in this hallway or something. So it won't be a complete get around, but you're at least forewarned that, hey, this area we should look for traps.
Anything that cartography could help us with?
Well, to get there is going to be orienting.
Okay.
Cartography, well, your cartography would be if you want to make a better map as you're going there.
Okay.
Now, are we
And if you have points in cartography, you immediately realize the person who drew this had no skill in cartography. No scale, representation. It's like, no, this is first semester. They should have been failed on this. And
are we all provisioned up as far as food rationed? And I'm not sure how much we go into the minutia of that in this.
well, you have certain rations, and Hannaford has an idea that it won't take you that long. It's not like several weeks journey. It's really just a couple of days travel north into the mountains. Should get you there.
Okay, so yes, we're well provisioned then. So
Yeah, as long as you have a few days of provisions, you should be okay. It's not the middle of winter yet, so you don't have to worry about hard survival. It's, I said, Travia, which is fall, October. You might get some snows in the mountains, but you don't think you're going to have to go that high up in elevation, just kind of more to the base of the mountains.
Okay. Do we want to enjoy a fine day of fresh beef, or are we going to go and cause mayhem?
I
Scare
have
some
to admit,
kobolds?
hearing that there's, fresh food and the slaughtering of pig, lamb, what was
Bull,
bull,
big old bull.
was making me a little hesitant of leaving so soon. But I mean,
Well, it's been there 100 years. I think another day would be okay. On the other hand, it does give me another whole day to steal the items back from you. Maybe.
well, I could go
And
either
afraid,
way.
just to confirm, today is like day 2 of this festival, yes or no?
This is the first day. Well, yeah, the first day was the bull ride and all the stuff that you did. You slept. So this is a day 2, and then things go back to normal. So
I think we want to get on the trail before anybody who came to this town for, the revelry also is on the road.
Well, you won't really be on the road. You're going to be heading to the mountains.
Well, I mean, in as much as there is a road,
Deer
I think we
track.
should get on it.
Yeah, it's really right across country and deer tracks and herd where, flocks of sheep have meandered up to the high meadows,
Trail?
that kind of thing. Yeah, kind of a trail.
Okay, well, let's hit the trail, pals.
Are we
All right,
pals,
no
buddy?
use wasting more daylight, so
Cowpokes?
on we go.
You're not going to stay and eat the beef?
Nope.
Okay. You
Yeah,
will
they
take
don't.
off on a brisk morning. Now I'm talking like Rodrigo.
Nico,
does
is that your
rub off.
reading face?
Yes. So you take off. I guess Hannaford will lead you on these well-known sheep trails that led out to the higher meadows. That usually every spring the shepherds and shepherdesses take their flocks up, raise them over the summer, and then bring them back for shearing and safety for the winter. And after, well, let's say, as you're going, who wants to give us the old orienteering roll? And this could be a group. You can assist in it since it's more like, no, I think we should go that way. See, we got to follow that star. I don't know what people's skills are, so this might be really good or not.
I'm not terrible at it. Is anybody good?
I could suck worse.
Well,
Could be worse. Okay then.
well, I'll give it a try.
I succeed with a QL1.
Same.
Okay. So now we're up to 2. And forget a 1 also?
Yeah, I failed.
I have too many irons to do math quickly, so
Oh, okay.
hold on.
Actually, Hannaford, you get a bonus of 2 on this roll because you're familiar with the area.
More math. Congratulations.
Oh, it's just easier. All her attributes are higher.
Yes, I have a QL1.
Okay. So total so far is a 3. You don't get lost. You don't pick the wrong valley and spend a week a la the Donner Party figuring out how to get back snowed in.
But who of
Sure
us
would
will
have
be the
been
last
nice to have stayed for that beef.
Next time we bring the bull with us. So you get out and you find you find this cave and it's very overgrown. Yeah, skip that. So you come and you find a kind of very overgrown cave, and as you kind of pull back the bushes, and it takes you a little while, you do this several times, and finally, there's a cave entrance. In general, as you go into this, the corridors are going to be about 4 foot wide unless I say they're bigger. So the cramped space rule kind of comes into place. If you have a small weapon like daggers, there's no penalty. But if you have a big weapon like a staff, there'll be a penalties if you fight in the small corridors. So it will vary because this is kind of a natural cave, but right now it's about 4 foot wide.
Where does the hammer
Why do
fall
we
on
need to
these
know
small
about weapon
toolboxes?
rules?
It's a very narrow cave so far. If it opens up bigger, I'll let you know, then it'd be okay. But right now, in this initial part that's fairly narrow, if you get in a fight, the smaller the weapon, the better, because you won't take penalties. It's harder when it's cramped to swing that staff. You can switch to a different weapon.
Or I could, transform the staff into my flaming sword, right?
You could.
And that would also provide us light, so I'll do that.
You have a couple of options. You have your staff that can just light up in flame. The top can turn into like a torch, magical. You have a Gwen petrol stone that glows and doesn't go out. So you don't have to worry about lighting torches yet unless somehow you lose these items.
What are you saying? So I would like to carefully examine the cave entrance and the area around it before we charge in there.
Give me a perception.
All right. Well, I got a pretty good roll there. Okay. So that is going to be a QL2.
A QL2. You find what looks like scat. Do you have animal lore?
What kind of country person do you think I am?
I'm just saying.
Why, yes, I do.
There is some leavings here that might indicate some danger or something in the cave. Is anybody familiar? Because I am not.
Does not look like it is from people.
Wise words from our noble.
And it is certainly not from a noble. Does not smell like roses.
Well, I sure don't know what it is. Scat.
QL1.
That's all you need, Hannafrid.
Good, because I feel like I'm rolling poorly. What
There
is
are
it?
nights
I don't
like that.
remember.
There are nights like that, but it's not that hard. You look at it, you look at the group. It's bear.
Oh, bear.
Well, that makes sense for a cave. Why are you surprised?
I'm not surprised. I'm just...
Just a little bit concerned.
Friend Pred, and he captures the moment just exactly.
Do bears fit through 4-foot tunnels?
Oh yeah.
It's really like 4 foot wide. The ceilings are 10 to 14 foot tall. It's just very narrow.
Okay.
Narrow enough to get that bear hug. Well, I will still volunteer to go first.
Stone held high so you can see. Step in the bear scat.
Yeah, Dorisha, may I borrow the stone?
I hand it back to you.
So now you have the answer to the question. They don't in the woods, they do in a cave.
All right. Well, I'm going to try to move carefully, any non-alarming way, like as if I, so I would not say startle a bear who would then maul me to death. But also keeping an eye out for irregularities, dangers, loose areas that might collapse on us, pit traps,
Luckily for you,
swinging blades.
I've got a map.
Ooh, all right.
I am gonna pull out my cudgel and strap on my quarterstaff.
Okay.
Probably, I'm going to stay at the cave entrance and go in last so that I can check to see if we are being followed.
Ah. Give me perception as they move in. So who follows Rodrigo next? Dorisha with a ballista?
I didn't bring my ballista.
I could go next.
Short said I don't know. I'm going ahead of Braden if Braden's going next.
Okay.
Excuse me.
He's not that crunchy. I mean, he's a fighter mage.
Sure. I thought the reason I was here was because I was hired to protect him. Surely he should not volunteer to go first.
I don't think Rodrigo would care if you went first, except he knows there's traps. And
Right.
I mean, that's one way to detect traps is if the dwarf sets them off.
Should be fine.
Okay, so I have rolled a 1 on a skill check. Do I confirm it, or is it just if you have 2?
You're rolling 3d20, so you need 2 criticals in that, just like you need 2 20s to be a bot.
Okay, then I just had a QL1.
Okay. If you don't think, as you kind of delay as they slowly move out, a little bit spaced, Rodrigo, Dorisha, Preodin, I'm guessing then Nicolo,
Yeah.
and then Hennefrit. So it'll be a little bit dark, because from what I understand, there's just the one, or does Preodin light his staff so there's a little more light in the middle of the group?
I was thinking I would go with my staff as a flaming sword. You know,
Either
so
way, it'll
that-
give off light. That's fine.
right.
It's
Yeah,
just
it's more so I could, if something gets the drop on us, I'll be able to fight in close quarters.
you can do that. Just remember that costs you AE as you keep it up as a sword like that.
Oh, okay. So that does. There's a maintenance cost involved in that. Okay, maybe I will. I guess I will use it as a staff then, because using the staff as a light source that doesn't cost. That doesn't have an ongoing cost, does it?
The Eternal Flame doesn't. On the page with your spells, down here at the bottom, it has your special staff abilities. So your Flaming Longsword is 1 AE around, 2 if it's ranged. So if you send it flying, it costs more.
Okay.
But the Eternal Flame is, and you can just make a flame sprout off the top of your staff, doesn't cost anything. So you can just walk around all day with that.
Right.
This is a very utility thing. But if you do convert it to a sword, it will give off light while you're in here. So if you do convert, it won't like it go dark. You'll be able to see. Okay, yeah, so they space out. You look. You don't think you're being followed.
Can I?
I find your wording suspicious.
Years of GMing have taught me how to phrase things.
I know.
I am superstitious, but I don't know if that counts for being suspicious of the, GM.
You kind of supposed to pick what you're superstitious about. Is it mages, witches, black cats, cats with 1 black eye patch that are brown and white also, with military rank?
Could be naval rank.
It's birds.
That-
I don't trust
that's
birds.
yours.
They are ugly,
are?
vicious
Yep.
things. And they're spying on you all the time.
They do. They steal things.
You get it.
I do. I do.
I was wondering if there's any way for me to set up like a rabbit catch at the entrance to the cave. That if anybody tripped it, it would do like a normal rabbit hatch and, you know, have a little noise that it makes.
Sure. You have a rope skill.
I do.
Go for it. You can pull out some rope real quick and make something that would at least startle someone to let them know, you know, give you a warning or something.
Killing one.
Okay, you rig something up that's there.
And then when I get sufficiently in the cave, I'll light my torch.
Okay, you don't really have to. There's
Really?
a glowing stone up front, and then Prayerden has his little staff burning, so you can see enough.
Oh,
Unless you get
great.
way far behind, but you don't have to yet.
Okay, I will not then.
Okay. You travel a short way in, 50 meters or so, maybe 70 meters, and there's a large pile of rocks in the tunnel, Rodrigo. It doesn't block everything. You're going to have to climb up and over it, but you can climb up and over it.
Okay.
More of a scramble.
Mm-hmm.
Do these look like they were like arranged this way, like by human hands, or is it like a collapse?
Give me a earth and craft skill check. All those craft skills that no one puts points in sometimes are important.
Apparently.
Jerisha goes, no, this is a natural rock fall. Look up. You can see where they fell.
Those of us who are dwarves may have some of these skills.
Kind of comes with the race. So,
So do I need to make a skill check, like climbing or something like that, or?
yes, you give a bonus of 3 as you kind of scramble up over this.
Okay, so that's 3 to the characteristics.
Yep, all your attributes are
Okay.
3 higher.
Okay.
It's
All
really
right.
not that difficult for your climb.
Right. It's not that difficult unless you roll an 18, an 18, and a 20. Nonetheless.
Maybe that bonus will allow you to succeed as your fancy
It could have been a
ball
bot.
That's right.
shoes slip off the rocks.
That's right. Nope. It does not allow me to succeed because. Oh wait. Well, I would be. Oh well, I guess I got a QL1. It did allow me to just
Okay,
barely
With
succeed.
you
QL1.
start to slip in the bear scat that you once again forgot, but you catch yourself and don't fall and take any damage. And you can scramble up and over this pile
Darn bear.
of
All right.
Jerisha, do you follow?
I will. Is there any way that I can assist people coming behind me? Since it turned out that was an especially difficult.
You'll have to ask them. They might not want any assistance after they watched you slip, slide,
right.
and belly crawl up over this small pile of rocks.
I found all the hard places, so I can tell you how to get up. But anyway,
Don't
if
go
anyone
by-
wants an assist, I will attempt.
This is a dexterity check?
Don't go the way.
It's a climbing check.
All right,
Under
I will
physical
just get out of the way,
Brayden, are you
and I will.
I assume
So
that he's doing the
Courage,
skill.
agility, strength.
Yeah.
If you don't have anything in climb.
And,
But it's a bonus
and
of
I'll
3 of those.
keep an eye out
I do
for
succeed.
bears or things.
Okay. You succeed? Boop, 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 boop.
Yeah, QL 1.
Okay, that's fine. It continues on. You can barely make out maybe 20 yards ahead. Right at the edge of your light, there's something on the floor ahead there, Rodrigo.
Something on the floor. Like a bearskin rug with a bear still in it? Or,
No,
okay.
little reflection like a little puddle of water and a little shaft of light. Very faint light comes down from the ceiling.
I must have been trying to do the same thing that Rodrigo was doing because I rolled a 10, 19, 20.
Are you still able to succeed with that?
No.
Then you, unlike Dorisha, who took, no, don't go that way, go this way. The rocks won't slip and move. You follow Rodrigo, you slip, and you take 2 points, ignoring Pro, as you twist something. But you still continue over on the other side, and you're a little injured.
You don't. Can I assist with a feat of strength? I didn't have a very good QL on climbing, so I understand if the answer is no.
No, you got over. It would be more of a body control, because that also gets into jumping and everything else. So you're able to like reach out quickly and grab him before he falls.
Okay.
So I do not take damage.
Well, we'll see. If she fails, she might make it worse.
Teresha spikes Praedin.
QL 2.
Okay, just as you slip, she grabs your arm and pulls you up, and you don't take any damage.
So I will examine the area around this pool and look at the angle of the light and look around to see, of course, the elf said that the ring was the key. So if there's anything that...
Okay. As they're climbing over, Nicola will need your climb check, and then Hannaford's. You come up, there's a small little puddle, and you see some small bones, and as you look up, you can see there's actually a hole, kind of where that long cavern goes up. There's a hole where maybe some things fell in, some rainwater came in. Very faint light from the setting sun, because it's the end of your second day you got here.
Kill one.
Okay. You get up and over, no problem. Hannaford?
Okay, here's the deal. If we're going by climb, which I would argue is not what I'll be doing, I only failed by 1 point, and I'm wondering if nimble can carry me through.
What does nimble...
That's the thing. I have no idea.
Nimble adds to your movement value.
Oh, poo.
I think so, yeah.
I mean, bear, scat.
And you got the bonus of 3 to that climb, right?
No,
Everyone had a
how
bonus
did I
of
do
3.
that?
All your stats are 3 higher, because it's not a very difficult climb, so you have a bonus because it's just a pile of boulders. You're not trying to climb the cavern wall.
Oh, good. Thank you, all one.
There, see? You succeed.
What a nice GM.
Everyone got a bonus of 3 because it's not... It'd be different if you're trying to climb the wall of the cavern itself. That's definitely more of Rodrigo's purview. I'm sure he has points in climb and has those things. You guys are just kind of scrambling over these boulders without slipping and falling and twisting an ankle, which you almost did, but Dorisha was there to go, oh, I got you. Prayer didn't. So, on the other side, a little bit farther ahead, you see Rodrigo's kind of looking at the floor. He's got his stone up. Floor's a little wet.
You said there was a pool here?
Yeah, small, like two by two. There's a small 2 little foot puddle where the water comes in from the roof and kind of hits here and then seeps into the ground.
Does it look like clean water, or is it clear?
Clear enough. I mean, it's only like this deep.
With minimal lighting.
You take your life straw out and drink some. Supposed to work. It's easy to step over it if you'd like, Rodrigo.
Okay, I will do that.
Okay.
Carefully trying to keep aware of my surroundings.
Okay. Again, it's still just a cavern, but as you go about another 20 yards, it seems to open up and you can see a larger area in front of you. And there are multiple little exits from it. And you remember from your instructions, it was kind of coded as left before right.
Okay. Well, we'll try that.
Okay. Again, this is a bigger open area. In the middle of this kind of one 5-pointed intersection is a larger puddle of water. Water's dripping from the ceiling. It's a little bit larger. These are moist caverns.
Yeah.
And is a larger opening to the left. And as you start to go down that way, you definitely smell a strong animal odor.
Yeah, 4 different places to be, Bear. Well, I will definitely make sure that everybody is following me. And when Dorisha comes up, I'll say, I think the bear is down this way. Anybody got experience with the bear?
If you only had a certain witch who likes to befriend bears.
Not the bear, the animal, no.
Okay. Well, I guess we just got to be careful. So I will carefully advance, trying to keep my eye out for the bear, and also looking for the right turnoff, which hopefully the bear is not, lying across or something.
So it
Or in
goes
front
from
of.
a larger, like 8-foot oak. Hannaford?
And a QL2 for smelling.
It's bear. You've smelled them before. Usually with your sheep,
Kinda
it's not a big problem. They kind of leave them alone. It's too much effort to chase a sheep, especially where the shepherd is. So, unlike the wolves, who you really have to beat down. But
It's the truth.
bears. But yeah, this is a bear.
This is good news.
Told you.
How is this good news?
Well, you see, if anyone comes along behind, then we have an ally.
As long as it is also behind, it's ahead at this point, isn't it? Or can you tell?
Caves are tricky.
So,
Wonderful.
anybody
Starts
else
out
have
about 8 foot wide for only about 10
Okay.
yards, and then it widens up to a much larger cavern, and it gets taller too. This is a much larger,
All right.
bigger. You can spread out. The cramped rules will not apply in this cavern.
Okay. Yeah. So the bear can come and get us all. What do I see either a rightward path out of this large cave, or a bear, or
You see
other?
the large cave, and as it lights up this whole room, you can see a smaller cave, entrance passageway to your right, and you see one on the far at the other end as the cavern closes back down, and then there's a bit of darkness that you can tell, okay, that's another passageway that way, or we can go to this one.
Well, they said to go right. So let's try right. Hopefully whoever thought of that didn't have a problem confusing the right and the left. And I will, again, cautiously move forward. I don't want to, again, surprise or disturb a bear if I can help it. So.
Okay.
What time of year is this?
It's October.
Ah,
October, beginning of October.
then I am smiling.
Okay.
You're going to kind of hug the right wall and go to the right.
Yep.
Teresa, you're going to follow after Rodrigo? Or are you going to let him wander down there by himself?
I'm following Praedon. Well, no. Wherever
He was
Praedon
following
is
you.
going, I am going first.
We had Rodrigo move in, and then you were the next person. It's wide enough you can start spreading out if you want to.
So, and this is to Hannaford. So what time, is this when bears do their long sleep? Or,
Well, really, it depends on how much food they've had.
After a couple adventures, he'll be quite ready to sleep.
Totally topped up.
yeah, I'm gonna head to follow Rodriguez.
Okay. You all can give me a perception, especially for hearing, if you have a specialty for hearing.
Bear snoring.
You could all sing the song, going on a bear hunt, going on a bear hunt, going on a bear hunt.
So would that specialty be under advantages?
If under your skills, if it has perception and you have like hearing, some people have perception with a bonus of sight. They can see things better, that kind of thing.
Yes.
If you're Nico, you have both.
I got a QL2. No bonuses.
Okay, that's fine. It would give you a bonus if you have it, because it is a sound perception. Zarisha hears nothing because her helmet's too tight on her head.
QL2.
QL1.
And a QO1 is here as well.
Okay. You all but Darisha definitely hear their and then a chuff, chuff, chuff.
So is that towards the cavern entrance that we're heading towards, or more
as you're
in the large room?
As you move in and go to your right to let me check out this passageway, off to your left where the cavern's wider and there's still a little bit shadows, you definitely hear what you think is a bear. I mean,
Mhm.
you've maybe never met one in the wild, but you've seen one at the circus in Vinsall. You remember that
Oh,
one?
yes.
The circus came through.
Yeah.
They had dancing
Oh,
bears.
I've been to the bear baiting.
Oh.
All right.
It was so nice on that ball.
Yeah. So
But all four of you hear that. Some a little
Okay.
bit better than others.
well,
Oh, that
I think we should continue moving forward.
that's right. That is what I will do.
Okay.
Let the sleeping bears lie.
Okay. Are you trying to be quiet? You obviously can't hide because you've got torches and lights and all that.
I am going to try to sneak. And to be sneaky. Oh, that's a good. Yep, that's QL4.
Okay.
And I could be very quiet.
Yeah, as you hear the bear, suddenly Rodrigo disappears. Exit stage right. He wasn't quitting. Those clothes were quiet and dark, and you just see this blue thing bobbing down the hallway. It's like floating in the air by itself. Anyone
I'm
else trying to
joining him
be-
in that stealth.
Okay.
What's the specialty for sneak at? 2 or 1?
Do you have a move? Do you have a sneak or
Sneak.
hide?
It is sneak.
It just says sneak. It doesn't have a bonus.
I think it's +2.
I'm sorry. Stealth. It says +2. Sneak. Yeah, it should say +2. Because you're specialized in it.
Yeah.
So that gives you 2 more points in your SR.
Well, on
It's
that.
different than trying to hide. If you're trying to hide, then you wouldn't have that bonus.
Right. QL2.
Okay. Prairden and Hannafred and, well, Dorisha hasn't said whether or not she's trying to sneak. She
Now,
wants
I
to.
do not have a skill rating for my stealth, so I assume that means it's just my straight roll.
Yep, straight roll.
That I did not make it.
Okay. No problem.
Do I get anything if I rolled all the same number?
Are they all 20?
They are not all 20. Nor are they all 1. Very disappointing. I will be satisfied with the fact that I got to keep all of my stealth points. And so I have a QL4. I'm very sneaky in my armor.
Wow.
She's very quiet. She keeps it well oiled, maintained. It's not rusty and squeaky at all.
Just padded on the bottom.
But Prairden just bumps into things and kicks rocks. Hannafred.
Is it likely to be a black or a brown, depending on my region?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you have animal lore?
I do.
You could give me an animal lore.
Then that would be QL3.
You know the noises he's making are he's kind of curious who's come into his cave, and it's not I'm going to come and eat you right now, but it's more of a warning like, hey, who are you? And that the huffing he does. You do know with this that bears run faster than humans.
Mm-hmm.
They are curious and have a good sense of smell, and they can detect food and prey from afar. And you can usually avoid trouble if you stay downwind of them. But you do know, because you got QL3, bears can become enraged when injured or when their cubs are threatened.
Well, this is
All
a
bets
time
are off.
for them to give birth, so
No, but if they
unless she already has
get into a fight, they
yearling.
get injured, then they're very unhappy, and then things go downhill.
Well, I do like the chat suggestion that I should hide behind the tastiest looking party member. However, since I know the bear is just like,
At this point, we haven't done anything too
Yeah.
overt. He's kind of
my goal is to make sure that I don't make it feel like I'm fencing it in. So I'm trying to get to the entrance or kind of shunt everyone towards the exit to this large area without, feeling like we're intimidating the bear at all.
Are any of the rations that we have on hand something that we feel like a bear would eat that we could kind of leave behind us?
You never know. You never know.
Well, I would.
You would like, well, if push comes to shove, we might be able to throw some food out there. It might delay it at least while it investigates why you threw this honeyed bread on the floor for it. You know, Rodrigo, as they're all contemplating and slowly trying to move, you move down that hallway, and all too soon it ends. Like it's a natural ending. So.
I will examine the area carefully to see if there is anything that seems out of place or unnatural, and as a last resort, I will pull out the ring. But first, I'll try to see if there's some place where the ring might go, or some other indication of something.
Give me the old perception roll.
All right.
I'm sure the chat's figured out that perception is very important because we're rolling it all the time.
Okay. Come on, perception.
Perception.
Ooh. So I have a QL3.
You're pretty certain this is just a dead end.
All
I mean,
right.
you do the old padding, poking, looking for that secret. They always say, behind the bookcase, you pull a candlestick. No, not
Right.
happening here.
No candlestick.
No.
Very unfortunate.
Which is, not to sidetrack, one of my favorite scenes in Young Frankenstein when he's put the candle back.
That's it. Listen very carefully. Do not put the candle back.
Very fun.
Classic.
So, yeah, figure this is not. We took the wrong turn.
Okay. All right. I'll back out and sort of.
And everyone's
Got
gonna
it.
have to back out. This is a narrow.
Sorry.
Again, the narrow.
We got a
passageway.
dead end here.
Back. So that turns
Are we
into.
reversing party order, or is there?
Yes, a Hanford will be the first one back out to our friendly bear.
Beep. I think we got to go around the bear.
Into this narrow space. That would
Well,
be,
you had the bigger.
no.
It was a narrower passageway, so you can turn around and go, but there's not. You can't go by each other. You can climb over,
Yeah,
I guess.
I wouldn't have gone in.
Oh, okay.
Oh, well, in that case, if he's saying it's a dead end, I will continue my sneaking self all the way back out. Probably not going toward that bear noise.
Okay. So you all move back into that bigger cavern
Yeah.
the way you came, or you can go.
The way we came.
It does seem to bow out more to your left. You think maybe you can sneak by on the right side and just keep going?
Okay. So this would be continuing deeper along this path rather than retracing our steps.
Yeah, you're in the big cavern that
Yeah.
you think there's a bear. So you can either go back the way you came, or you can. There's still one ahead of you that you can go down that way.
Let's try that way.
Okay.
It didn't necessarily say that the first right was the one we were supposed to take.
And you said this.
Yeah, there's sometimes when people write codes, it's like, why couldn't you just say do this?
You said it kind of goes off to the left as we're facing back the way we came.
As you came into the cavern, it got bigger.
Originally.
Yes,
Okay.
into this larger cavern with the bear. You came in, there was an entrance to your right, and there's one across from you, but the cavern to your left, it seems to open up more to your left.
As we're facing the direction when we originally came in.
Yep, as you came in, it kind of was a big egg shape, and there's more of that open area to your left. You figure maybe if you stay to the right, you can avoid the bear. Maybe not.
Maybe the instructions said have multiple lefts.
We don't know.
Could invent
Alright.
a time machine, go back 100 years and talk to Otark and say, okay, what did you mean?
Yeah. Okay. Well, barring a time machine, I will try to. Doesn't work like Bill and Ted. Oh yeah, in the future I'll find a time machine and then I will have gone back and yeah. Oh well. All right. Sneaking forward so as not to alarm or bother the bear.
So you're sneaking, trying to move quietly, and as your light kind of goes, eventually you will light up the left enough that you will see kind of a pile of stuff. I'm not really sure what bears sleep on, but you will see a bear that's standing there, and he's huffing at you again.
Oh.
He's probably just dreaming.
Well, he said he was
up and
standing.
looking at you. I mean, you've got lights. I mean, I'm sure bears dream. I'm
If
sure
he's
bears
dreaming, he's
sleep.
asleep a walking.
Is Prairden going to throw his rations at the bear? And by rations, I don't mean pushing Hannaford suddenly, like, here you go. I've seen this trick at the fair. Just push it real hard and she'll go to the bear.
I'd like to see him try. Would
Yeah.
you, wizard?
Don't need to cause conflict within the group. So, you guys move along. Is Prairden going to throw some rations out there? Okay.
Yeah.
The
Just
bear
on the ground and-
will move up a little bit and start sniffing and nuzzling the whatever. What kind of food do you throw out? Not that bears really care.
Smelly food.
It depends on their species. Some of them are omnivores and some of them are vegetarian.
Yes, this is a giant panda bear.
I mean, what would be
Throw some-
typical,
Throw some bamboo at him, he'll be fine.
Dan told me we
what would
would
be
be
typical adventuring rations?
Say again, John?
What would be typical adventuring rations? I mean, probably things that keep
I'm
well.
probably
Like,
guessing like hardtack and pemmican and that kind of stuff for hard travel. You just
Probably
left
want
the town, you might have some fresh bread or something too. A wheel of cheese and a jug of wine.
so yeah, I'll throw some bread down and some.
Okay,
I mean, Praeden doesn't know, so
that's fine.
Oh, yeah.
Throw some rations out there, not a bad idea. And the bear seems to be eating the bread that you threw on the ground. Does everyone
we'll
continue?
slowly retreat.
And now we are made of
You're
food.
treating you trying to sneak forward.
Well, okay, so is he in between us and the direction that we're trying to go, or is he?
He's off to
Behind
the
us.
side, but yeah, he's between where you are and where, that doorway you want to go to. But he's off to the left. So if you throw food over there and distract him, you might be able to get by.
Yeah. So we'll try that, or I'll try that.
Sneaking along the rightmost wall.
Okay. Does everybody go down that way?
I go.
I will go last, watching the bear the whole time, because as soon as you feed it, then it knows you're a food source. And okay.
Are you going to throw more bread at the bear?
No!
Okay. You're the last one. He seems to be eating and puts his nose up and smells and then goes back to his little whatever pile of stuff. You guys are moving down the hallway, same kind of order you were before. It bends to the right and goes probably another 50 yards and ends at a mighty steel door.
Dun dun
All
dun.
stone.
Is there perhaps a horn nearby that we could, use?
No.
Is there perhaps some place that a ring might? Anyway, I will carefully examine the door.
Okay. Perception.
Perception. Oop. All right, that is a QL3.
Yep. In this case, you're searching. Ah, right here. Looks like the ring would fit perfectly.
And this seems to be the door. There's a place for the ring. I have the ring. I'm going to put the ring in. Is everybody ready? I don't know what's going to be in there. Maybe it's
Ready as
empty
I'll ever be.
like the vault of Al Capone, but you know.
And nothing was there.
All right.
I think it might have another bear behind it.
Oh, that would be most disappointing. All right.
Bears
Maybe
don't
bear-
kill floors.
And terrifying. All right. Before I put in the ring, I will check for traps.
If you have that special ability.
If I have that special ability, well, what kind of? Well, I got disarm traps. And what special ability would that be?
Well, you have the general special of disarm traps. So I would say
Yes,
if you
I
can disarm
do.
traps, you can then find them too. You know about
Okay.
traps.
Okay. All right. Very good. Then I will.
But you won't get your
Is that-
bonus. Well,
Okay.
you're not trying to pick it, but
So is that So is that sort of
it would be your pick locks roll, but you won't get your bonus.
get the bonus?
You're not
Okay.
trying to-
Got it. Got it. No problem. QL4.
No,
All right.
you're pretty sure this is not trapped, but there's definitely something. One, you can just tell 100 years ago, it's a wet cave. This door hasn't rusted. So there's something you feel some residual magic for this door. And the ring doesn't fit on the door. It fits in, like if you have the ring and it like one edge of it will fit into a crevice.
Okay. All right. I will fit it in.
Okay, click. It fuses with the door,
Wow.
but it does feel like you could maybe twist it.
Okay. I will try and give it a twist.
It twists, and you can push the door open if you would like.
Okay. That's what I'm going to do.
And it will take a little effort. The door's perfect, but it looks like the mountain itself has settled some, so the lintel and sides are a little bit warped off, but the door, it was still very secure, and there's nothing wrong with the door.
Okay.
Okay, you open it, and you now have a worked stone tunnel that slopes downward slightly.
Okay.
And it seems almost like if you've ever been in an old mine that has the wooden beams that support it. But these wooden beams look very wet, moldy. Darisha, you know that this isn't the best work. You can give me an earth and craft check if you'd like.
QL1.
Okay. You think you can get through here okay, but this looks really unsafe. Like, I really hope we don't get in a fight in this hallway because a wayward sword or staff might bring it all down.
Look like a bunny.
But you're pretty sure, again, all that water you've encountered seems to be all seeping down. It's been 100 years, so.
They invested in a great door and crummy interior construction.
Maybe he didn't expect it to last 100 years. It just needed to be secure for a couple of years. Here it's 6 by 6. It's a little bit wider.
Okay.
And one of the symbols you saw on the map definitely referred to this stretch of worked tunnel for traps.
Okay. Do I need to roll perception, or anyway? I'm going to look
Yes.
carefully, move cautiously, and also not bump into
If you didn't have
timbers
the
and
map,
things.
there was a penalty. But since you have the map, I will wipe out the penalty and make it a straight perception roll for
Okay.
you to figure out what needs to happen. And of course,
Okay.
you get light sources, so there's no visibility penalty.
Okay. All right. So that is a QL2.
Okay. You move about halfway down, and you can kind of see up ahead, there seems to be a hole in the floor. But before you get to that, you're like, oh, and there seems to be a pit trap.
Hmm.
But if you hang to the left side of the corridor, you can safely bypass the trap.
Okay. I will
It's not very
carefully
wide.
point that out to my companions, and then I will try to carefully demonstrate the proper way to skirt the pit trap.
Back against the wall, shuffle, 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 because it's a very narrow spot.
Mhm.
Most of it's going to be a trap that drops down, who knows how far.
Yeah.
But you only have to do it about this far, and then you're safe.
Okay.
And you're by.
I will do that. And
Okay. Does everyone follow his instructions?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep,
On
yep.
the far side of the trap, there is a shaft that descends. It's about 10 foot in diameter, and you can see iron rungs in the side of it, so you can climb down.
oh,
The tunnel does continue on and then hang a left, but there's a shaft with iron rungs so you can climb down.
how rusted through are the iron shafts?
Give me a perception check. If you have
All
metalworking? Get metalworking, anyone?
Nope.
Yes, the forge dwarf has metalworking.
Yeah, I have mechanics, but anyway. Yeah, they look fine.
They look fine. You do notice right above it, there seems to be an iron ring set into ceiling, like right in the beam, but there's nothing attached to it.
I find that suspicious.
Does Dorisha inspect the metal rungs? Or is
Yeah.
Rodrigo already climbing down?
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question. He seems impetuous. He might be already gone.
I do have some rope on hand if we want to add a little bit of safety here in case one of those rungs gives way.
Sounds like a very good idea. I mean, I think they look fine, but I am open to a second opinion.
Okay.
Yeah, I inspect them. QL1 in metalworking.
They'll probably support everyone. But there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of you, so maybe by the 5th person, who knows? Then there's just the outright slip and fall. You shine your light, and you can barely make out the bottom, which is pretty far, like 50 feet.
Wow. And can we make out any details? Like, is there a passageway that heads out, just open into some open chamber, or we can't really tell? Goes into a pit of crocodiles.
Yeah, you can't tell right here. Maybe when you climb down a little bit farther and get more light. It definitely doesn't look like there's water and crocodiles, though. They're not snapping.
Okay. Okay.
Could we? What's that stone light?
Yeah, I got it.
I'm wondering if can we lower it down, maybe like a rope or something, and see if we could see down there from above.
Anything's
Okay.
possible.
You could tie the rope around Rodrigo. And,
Lower him while he's holding the stone.
right. Then we won't lose the stone.
Just Rodrigo.
Well,
Yeah.
Listen, we might lose Rodrigo down the iron ladder rungs. So
You said there was a
So
ring set in the ceiling, right?
Yeah, and one of the beams that go across, there's a big iron rung rings like attached to it.
Oh, that would give you.
Can I check that for trap?
Sure,
Since I have disable trap?
sure. You can
You
see
want
if it's trapped.
You want a perception on that then?
Yeah.
Okay. Straight, correct?
I did have another idea. I will turn my staff into the flaming sword, which I could control with telekinesis, and I will send it down ahead of us.
To be fair, that's the chat's idea.
Very good suggestion, chat. People in the chat, I give you a fate point.
fate point for creativity.
Yes. So you send it down, you see the rungs go down, you'll see a little alcove about halfway down on the left, and it goes all the way down the bottom, and you see a pile of like rotted rope and a broken block and tackle at the bottom of the shaft, and there's definitely only one way out at the bottom.
It seems like someone else has tried this before.
Is there
Just the
anything
rabbit
like
Either that or they were trying to come up from down there. I don't know.
How do you think they got the treasure down there?
Wise beyond her years.
Mark, I had a QL1 on the ring, so.
It's not trapped. It looks like
Okay.
you hooked the rope to it. It would probably be okay. This beam isn't in as bad a shape as some of the others.
Okay.
Is there any kind of debris lying around that we could throw into the pit to see if it wakes anything up?
You got a flaming sword down there right now waving around.
Well, but it's not making any noise. Can you just clang it against the walls a couple times there, Praeden?
He can attack with it, so sure, you could control it. Yeah. Pink, pink, pink.
In my experience, noise tends to wake things up.
You hear the ringing and it echoes up this almost like a well shaft. Nothing seems to react to it.
Great. It needs a warm body. All right. Well,
Do we tie off a rope then, or?
Yeah. I'm going to tie off my 30 feet off onto the ring.
Okay. Like I said, it's about 50 feet deep, so you're going to need somebody else's rope.
I figure.
Brenda Praeden had a rope.
Yeah, I have 30 feet of rope as well. So
Okay. If we only had someone who could tie the ropes together, so they wouldn't come apart in that granny knot, but in a proper.
Skill.
You do have the rope still. And I'm guessing 25 feet of rope because some of it's upstairs on a rabbit bear trap thing.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm willing to go down first.
That's one.
Besides, Praeden can protect me with his flaming sword. And I'm very interested in that alcove partway down.
Kill one.
Okay. You tie the ropes, they won't come apart with the rope and the rungs. Even as rusted as they are, you lower yourself down. It's just a small little alcove. I don't know if was a natural and they just hollowed it out a little bit larger, but there's a spot that you could step off to the side about halfway down, and then you can continue down. At the bottom, again, broken tackle, a rotted rope. You can see the frayed ends where it just gave out. And then a shaft leading north.
Okay.
You're all confused. You're underground anyway, but it leads only one
Right.
direction.
And it goes that way.
It goes that way.
And all right. Well, I will keep watch down that hallway with my light, with my glowing stone, and wait for
everyone else
everybody
come
else. Whoever else wants to come down to come down.
Darisha?
Yep.
He gets down there, no problem. Okay. You all descend. and you're all at the bottom of the shaft, and there's another tunnel that leads out.
Well then,
I will carefully, keeping an eye out for things, move forward.
Okay. Again, this is a narrow passageway. It doesn't go for very long before it opens up into a very large dripstone cave.
Hmm.
Uneven floor, stalagmites and stalactites. It's a whole grotto. A good third of it has water in it, crystal clear, motionless. And that's where this comes out, and it's there.
Is the water like a filled with gold?
No, but you can give me a perception.
All right. All right.
For anybody else that walks into that room, it's a very large cavern, bigger than the cave. It's 6 times larger than the bear cave. It's a large dripstone cave.
So I've got a QL2.
Okay. You can see. Oh, I'm sorry. You had a bonus of 3 with that. So I don't know if that would increase your QL. Because it's a crystal clear.
Yes, it would. Yes,
Okay,
it would.
so
So I would have a QL4. No, 3.
QL4.
Sorry. QL3. 3. QL3.
That's good. You can see, because it's all kind of slopes down, hits the water, and it continues to slope down. And then you see an opening with carved steps.
Oh.
Going into another tunnel that's below the surface.
Hmm.
You give me a earthen craft, and it's also surrounded, in the water there are some stalagmites.
Lights?
Always have to think about which one is which.
Termites are on the ground.
Yeah. Earthcraft.
No.
QL1.
Okay, you know that stalagmites don't grow underwater,
Nope.
and no one carves steps underwater. So that must have been done before the water came.
Hmm. So anybody got a bucket?
hmm.
You're gonna need a lot of buckets.
There doesn't appear to be like a dam or anything that is holding the
No.
water.
In fact, while you're in here, every once in a while you do hear the drip, and stalagmites are still forming. This is a wet cave.
Yeah. And well, it's a very unfortunate the whole library is probably inundated.
I got a QL3 for perception.
Okay,
I got a QL3 for perception.
what you looking for? Anything in particular?
I am looking for hidden switches or stuff written on the wall or things that might indicate that we can do something to drain the water.
Yeah, no. You pretty much figure you're going for a swim.
Oh,
Dwarves do not swim.
Or just walk across the bottom of whatever you're doing.
Yeah, I can't swim. It's not a thing that I can do. So we need a different solution, or you're going without me.
I don't know. The best I got is can a magical flame evaporate so much water? Probably not.
what you mean you didn't bring a bench? I know why she loves benches so much.
I I can a
No.
dog paddle.
Oh. Wait. Doesn't he
Can
have
we
a
see how
bucket?
far down this hole goes submerged?
You can't tell. I mean, steps go down and seems to be a tunnel leading out. Maybe if someone jumped in with their blue stone and swam it, you could see.
Yeah.
But you can't really get crushed blue velvet wet.
This is wool.
And it's black.
Okay.
You're more than welcome to ride on my shoulders, Dorisha.
I will carefully try to go in the water and see what I can see.
Okay.
This is not my specialty.
With your glowstone, you won't have any penalty because it's light.
Okay.
If it's dark, you have penalties.
Okay.
And the way this swimming is going to work, I'll tell you right
Okay.
up front. You're going to take your con and divide it by 2. That's how many checks you get to make.
Okay.
So the bigger your con, the larger number you have, the more checks you get to make. There's so many checks you'll have to make to get through it,
Okay.
or you'll suffer some consequences. Not
Okay.
specifically drowning. I guess we could always botch and do that.
Yeah. Well then, I plunge in and I fail my first check.
Just straight up fail.
Straight up fail. Somebody didn't really teach Rodrigo to swim.
Let's quick look up swimming and see what happens when you come up sputtering or.
No.
Okay, your fail check. You're trying to do the dog paddle, but you're not really getting close, and you're having trouble understanding how to get under the water and down into that.
Seems very unnatural.
Maybe if you had plate armor, you could just walk in and walk along the bottom and not have to worry about it.
Oh,
You'd be okay.
yeah. Okay.
Yes.
I will.
But you can keep going.
A
All right.
common disadvantage to dwarves is incompetence swimming.
Yeah. No. I fail again.
I will wade in after him and pick him up by his
Okay.
collar.
Does someone else want to try?
Rodrigo said, "Do not like water."
You're from a seafaring culture.
Yeah, we like ships, not to get
Oh.
into water.
The boat.
Can I just study him as we move forward?
Sure.
With body control or feat of strength or something like that.
Does anybody have any competence to swim at all?
Yeah,
No.
some.
Maybe.
Well, that would be like 10,000% or more than me.
Otherwise, we can kind of wrap up the whole light mail adventure and
Yeah.
take forever.
Well, that's a good question.
Are we over our heads amount of water here, or
Okay.
is it?
If you'll have to swim under to get into the doorway that's below, you're gonna have to swim below the surface for some undetermined amount of time.
Ah. Hold on. I'll think of
Fantastic.
something.
You always spend a fate to re-roll.
Oh, thank you.
All right, I'm gonna improvise
Alright.
a breathing tube.
I was thinking along those same lines too.
I like haggis. And so I have some intestines with me.
Okay.
I go a little.
And what are you going to do with the intestines now?
I'm gonna make a breathing tube.
Oh, but maybe something else for another movie. We'll talk about it after the stream.
Good, because I am wasting very good casings for sausage here. Not happy.
She had these just ready to get some leftover beef to make her, breakfast sausage, and you guys dragged her away from the Bull Festival just to stop at a big cavern full of water.
They are, of course, cleaned in preparation.
Oh, snap.
So
So you're going to try to make like air bladders?
So
I think what the
I've
idea is, I'll take one end of the intestine and I'll hold it over above the water line so that she could breathe through, almost like,
Like a snorkel?
Yes.
But you're going to have to keep the open end up here because she's going to have to swim down below. Okay, I will give you a +2 on your swim.
and what was happening with you, Nicolo?
I was just considering pouring out the water from the water skin and using that as a midpoint lung.
Sure. I will give you a bonus too.
Then I'll let.
Swimming's just learning how to hold your breath.
Yeah.
Because this is diving. This isn't dog paddling on the surface. It's going under.
And you said a bonus of 2 or 3?
2.
Then QL 1.
Okay. That's your first check. Keep making them. You got to accumulate so many, or at the end of it, you're going to have some penalties.
Complications.
And remember, it's your con divided by 2. That's how many checks you'll make. You have to accumulate so many when you get to the other side. What's your con?
15.
15. So you get 7 checks.
Hi.
But that gives you
If
more
anyone's
chance
gonna
to
make it, she
accumulate
is.
the QLs.
I failed my second one.
Okay. It's getting harder. Maybe the casing got twisted and you didn't get enough air at that one time.
And then I got a QL 1 on the next one.
Okay.
Sorry, QL 1. Doing that.
Okay, so you're up to 3.
I failed.
Okay. That's 5 checks. You fail, but you're able to pop up. You fail and you can't take it. So you go up and you figure partway in, there's an air pocket. So you can take another gulp of air and then continue.
And then I had another QL 1 and another failure.
Okay. I lost track of how many checks you made. Did you make 7 rolls? 7 rolls?
I thought that was your job.
Oh. One more roll and you're there.
Okay, then I get a QL 1.
Okay. So you get to the other side and there are steps and you come up out of the steps. And you have one level of stupor, so it's -1 in your checks because you didn't accumulate enough QL.
We should have tied a rope
Nicola.
first. We could signal if she made it through.
So I've
Sure.
got a con of 11. Is that going to be 5 or 6 rolls?
5.
Okay, cool.
Always round
So,
down.
QL1 failed. QL1, QL1, QL1.
Okay, so
So-
you get through, you bob through. You also have one level of stupor.
Okay.
You finally get to the other side because you're coughing and hacking. Maybe you took a gulp of water and you couldn't quite hold your breath enough. But
It's all good.
it's all good. So with the rope and light, the rest of you can have an extra 1 bonus to basically pull on the rope and get through quicker. But you'll have to make your checks if you want to continue.
Okay.
So wait, what am I rolling? Body control?
Swimming.
I don't see swimming on. Oh, and I've changed my mind. I do see swimming on here, but do I have a disadvantage because I have incompetent swimming?
Yes.
But you won't be swimming. You'll be dragging.
Walking.
You don't have to go through. I mean, that's not saying you have to go through this. Hannaford's on the other side. Nicolo's there. Pulling on the rope saying, yeah, come on.
I'm a little bit
we're
nervous
alive.
about this myself. If you want to, I think I'll stay on this side.
That's
Hoping
fine.
maybe they'll find a way to release water, or I'm going to start looking for maybe ways that I could, I guess drain the water on this side.
Okay. Rodrigo, do you go
Like
through and
this.
help them?
I'm trying.
So Breodin and Dorisha stay on this side of the water. And Breodin has a light source. You're going through and you'll have
How many successes do I need to?
to be completely fine, you need QL 10.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. No. Rodrigo is probably going to show up dead. I think after my first 2 failures, I probably think this is a terrible idea,
You
and
guys
I go
pull on the
back.
rope and get them through.
Or yeah, you could just pull me through.
Okay. So the 3 of you on the other side, and you all have a level of stupor as you're coughing, hacking.
At
get more
least a
water.
level of stupor.
You're all half round.
I'm a more like a 9/10 drown.
So you're in a much smaller version of the other dripstone cavern, and there's one passageway leading out.
I'm beginning to hate these kobolds.
As much digging has happened down here, someone said it must have been heck being in the kobold gang because you had all this digging and work to do. I guess someone had to do it.
But Chat
Oh.
did say that they had very good dental.
There we
It's
go.
true. They did.
I wish they were all dead. Oh wait, they are.
That's true.
Okay, onward.
That could have
Okay.
gone so worse.
Again, it seems like a little bit kind of worked, not a natural. Once you get out of the cavern, it seems to be dug again. You don't go very far, and there's an opening on either side of this hallway, and you see a lot of broken furniture from the shape of what you're seeing on either side. This was probably sleeping quarters. You see like broken beds, maybe some rope, rotten mattresses. Everything's wet down here. You see like rotted chests that have moldering something inside, maybe clothes. And the hallway continues.
Let's carefully go forward.
Okay.
Yes.
It goes down and opens into a large rectangular room. Again, from the drawings and scratches on the walls, there's a large fireplace. You see rotted benches. The humanity. Rotted benches and tables. what might have been baskets that have piles of dirt in them. I mean, it's been 100 years.
Yeah.
But on the south wall, you do notice skillfully built, routed in, a massive iron shod wooden door with a very intricate bit lock.
Okay. I stagger forward in my stupid state.
Yep, it's just a -1 off your check.
All right. So is that -R1 from the SR or -1 to each ability?
It's like a pain level, so all your
Got it. Okay. All right. Well, I will see what I can do. I happen to be pretty good at bit locks, so we'll see. So the dice have really turned against me. Yeah. Nope. Wow, this is a very complicated lock. Friend Nicolo, you know anything about locks?
This is a very nice dwarven lock.
You would be amazed. Yes, I do know about locks. But let's take a look at it first.
I figure a noble, he got to have a lot of locks.
It was a pastime. Do you just want to pick lock on it, or do you want me to put like a perception on it for anything? Traps.
Oh,
Otherwise,
if you want to check for traps, that's a different roll. If you want to just pick the lock, then of course Rodrigo messed with it some and nothing sprang out and killed him.
Is it probably fun?
so we're going to start with the perception just to make sure.
Okay.
Oh, hello. 7 is a QL3 or QL2?
3.
Okay.
Yep. 7, 8, 9 is 3.
Okay. QL3 on a perception for it.
You don't think it's trapped?
All right.
That's all that
let's go.
matters.
Yeah, well, let's pull out the picks and see what we can do for cracking this door. That's good. Good. Wrong time to get a 20. Otherwise,
As long as you can mitigate it down.
yes, I can with a QL total of 1 at the end.
Okay. It really strains your lock pick, and it finally, the lock opens. Or you hear click, click, click. And it seems if you unlocked it.
Seems.
Well, does by the hinges, does it open in or out?
You will pull it open.
Okay.
If you can. It seems that the wood is a bit swelled up. You will have to do a cumulative strength check to pull this open. Maximum of 3 people can attempt this. So
Fantastic.
together, you need to.
Is this like 3 people doing like a feat of strength sort of thing?
Feat of strength. Yep.
Feet of
Okay.
strength. Yeah.
All right, feet of strength.
I got nothing.
Not my.
Kilo 1 on the first one. Are we
Okay.
rolling these multiple times?
You can. It's a cumulative group. You're gonna have to keep pulling.
Okay.
Anybody have a crowbar or anything in their kit?
Ooh,
I'll give you a bonus if you had a crowbar.
that would be. Rob. Let's see, hatchet.
I
Knife.
got a skill 2 on my second check.
So 3 altogether? I'll write these down.
Yeah, no crowbar.
Yeah, no crowbar here either.
I just want to give you a bonus on your feat of strength for this. You can give your feat of strength rolls to try to help Hannaford, who's put everything into trying to get this door to budge.
I will try. I'm not very
If only
confident.
dwarves could swim.
Yes. We're gonna go back to the dice that have been betraying me. Come on.
And then I got a QL3. While everyone was patting down their pockets.
The door is moving some.
I have
Withering
two
look up.
20s.
Will you help with this, please?
In trying to help with this, I have a 19 and 2 20s.
Get
There-
out of my way if you're just going
Yeah,
to be
they're
a
just
bother.
totally in your way. You chip a nail, you're going to need a manicure now.
Oh, that's it.
Not you, him,
Get down.
Niccolo. Just let's go. He's sitting on the floor as he's just
Ow.
let go. Prayerdin and Darisha, please give me perception checks.
This feels ominous.
And then
Can't
I
be
got
the-
another QL3.
Ooh. Yeah, why am I even trying?
I'm just gonna go ahead and re-roll that.
We're on fate. Okay. You totally by yourself, Hannaford. You wrenched the door open. Took
I
longer than you
just want
thought.
you to know that these would be really excellent Fading Suns dice.
Or Torg dice.
Oh, that's what I meant, is Torg, in fact. I'm playing too many games currently, and I've forgotten what all the systems work like. Anyway, moral of the story, I do not succeed.
Okay.
I don't botch, but I do not succeed.
Okay. Prayerdin.
I did, under roll each of the stats, and my perception is 3. So
QL1.
that's still just a QL1.
But you succeed. As you guys are looking around this cave trying to figure out what to do, you do notice the hallway you came down, the shaft. There's torchlight coming down that
I don't feel good about that.
way. Hannafred, you managed to open the door by throwing your full weight into it. The light of the magical Gwen petrol stone fills the room, and you shield your eyes. It reflects off the mountains of gold and silver in the room. Imagine all this treasure just sitting here, waiting for decades to be rediscovered. Gold, jewelry, splendid weapons, silverware. Never in your lives have you seen so many valuable objects in one place. There's chests of silver coins, jewel-encrusted cups, large ring, heavy necklaces, ornate weapons, finest clothes of silk and damask. Water doesn't seem to have gotten into this room. Silverware, punched ornamental plates.
Great.
Prayerdin and Darisha, what do you do?
This looks magnificent.
And how do you communicate that to your friends?
Is there any place to hide other than in the
There's
water?
some large stalagmites you can hide behind. They're all over the room.
Yeah, I'll hide behind one of them.
I keep myself between Prayden and the torchlight, but also hide.
Okay, both of you give me a stealth check. You know it's a narrow hallway that they can only come at you one at a time in the hallway. Once they're in the room,
I succeed QL3.
of course you do. Of course you do. Morphin plate mail that can hide.
Listen, I can't swim. I have to be able to do something.
I also succeed. QL1.
Okay. You extinguish your light on your staff.
Yes. And can I pick a stalactite that is, close to where it opens up into here to maybe get a sneak attack from behind kind of thing?
Yes, you can, but that's not something you, as a white mage of the Gareth Academy of Sword and Staff, would do.
Okay.
That's what Rodrigo would do.
I have dark sight too, so if you think that there's going to be disadvantages for being in the dark, bear that in mind.
No, I just want to make sure if you have your torch going, if you're hiding behind a stalactite with a torch,
Not as stealthy
if you
as it might
extinguish
be.
it and they have the light source, they will provide the light for you. And yeah, you can definitely see the torches plural, bobbing down the hallway. So do you want to let them in the room or stop them at the entrance?
It's an unknown quantity, so I would like to see who they are before we reveal ourselves.
Preodin, with your perception, since you spotted them. No, here, if you want, give me another perception as they're coming down the hallway.
I don't feel good about this. For the record.
It's our future selves having found the time machine in the treasure room. No, wait.
They've got this apparatus strapped to their back. Looks like big cylinders and hoses. And
Another QL1.
Also a QL1. For
you
one.
both recognize the lead person in the group as one Jasper Gellenbrick. Torch in one hand, saber in the other.
They did not get the message.
And behind him is Burgal, Ragna, and Buzz, Neil, Tom, Alan, Gus, and Roger. Bandits from the road. You also notice that several of them have bloody claw marks on their body.
Oh, they had disturbed the bear.
They weren't smart enough to throw food at it. Hence, they were delayed. So they're a little beat up.
It happens.
So what do you want to do? If you want to get a surprise round, you can make an attack at them, jump out, hit them with your hammer, cast a spell, and then we'll go into initiative. But you'll get that first.
I'm almost thinking of just, playing it quiet and see what they do to address this room, and see if I could go unnoticed. And
Okay.
Okay.
But I mean, I'm just speaking for me, and I don't really have a way to communicate my intentions to you. So whatever you want to do.
I'll wait.
Okay. And Preodin and Dorisha were never heard from again.
Killed us off.
No.
So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 9 of them coming single file.
Down a narrow-ish passageway.
In single file, yep.
All right, fine. I will attack the first one coming out. Is it Jasper or is it
First
one of
one
the?
is Jasper. You saw him right up front with a torch and saber as he's going.
Yep. Surprise
Every once in a while,
attack.
you can hear from behind him people going, shh, shh, not so much noise. Quit crowding him.
Surprise attack.
Dorisha time.
Okay, so you can leap out and you can get a surprise attack on him, and then we'll go to initiative.
Yep.
With that, he doesn't get a parry. And did I mention some of the guys in the back have bows?
Oh,
Obviously.
They thought, we're going to shoot.
Okay, if Dorisha goes into attack, I'm going to start casting Ignifacius.
Ineffectious.
Yeah,
Okay. That's your lance of fire.
right. Now,
They
can
get to
that,
dodge or
can that
parry
hit
that. They have a
multiple
shield.
targets?
What's
Can
that?
that hit multiple targets?
No,
or does
it's
that
one
stop?
person, and that's what impacts on them.
Okay.
I succeed.
You succeed. Okay, he doesn't get his defense to dodge. You're like, whoa! He's surprised when this dwarf jumps out of the darkness at him. Give me your damage.
Oh. I didn't roll my damage. Why do you ask?
excuse me.
Bless you.
Huh?
Thank you.
God bless you.
14?
14 damage.
That's correct. It's the Hammer of Angrosh wielded by a dwarf, so.
A solid blow. Who you're targeting with Ignifaxius, or is this a multiple?
Let's see. Oh, I thought you said it couldn't be multiple.
No, not multiple people. How long does it take you to
Oh.
cast it?
2 rounds.
You can mitigate that to 1 round.
No, I'll go ahead and do the 2 rounds. Or 2. I'm sorry. 2. It says 2 actions. Sorry.
Yes. So if you start it now, it'll go off next round. So the very first round we roll initiative, or you can mitigate it down, and
that's by spending. Oh no! How does that work?
it makes it harder to cast. So your SR to cast it is more difficult
Okay.
by 1.
Now it says my check is. It gives me the attributes that I do for the check, but can I buy that down? Because I was 3 short on one of my rolls.
And you don't have enough points to mitigate that?
Well, that I don't know what skill or what do I use to mitigate?
It's on your spells page. So there's the one cheat sheet that kind of describes. So the last page of your character sheet, when you have Ignifaxius, you're 14, 14, 10, and you have 6 points under SR to mitigate.
Okay, so I succeed with 3, and then by doing it as a quick cast, that made it how much harder?
It raises your checks would be 15, 15, 11. So it's harder to cast.
Okay, so I succeeded with a QL1.
Okay. So who are you targeting? Jasper or the next one in line? Or
Yeah, probably Jasper.
okay, so it's 2d6 plus your QL times
QL.
2, so it's gonna be
Yeah.
plus 2. So 2d6 plus 2 damage.
Roast him.
I mean, I already hit him for 14 damage, so.
8 damage.
What'd you say, John?
8 damage.
8. He can try to dodge. Well, no, this is the surprise round. He doesn't get the dodge. So 8. Okay. So the way Dark Eye works, once you hit 5 life points or less, you have to make a check or you fall unconscious from the sheer pain. Which is a self-control roll. Oh my. A 15 and a 19 aren't good on 2 of the rolls for sure. Let me double check. Oh no. So he screams in pain between the hammer blow to the chest and the fact that a lance of fire strikes him. He drops his torch and saber falls on the ground as his shirt starts to smolder and might catch on fire. The other people in line are shocked, and we will now go to initiative.
Does that decrease their initiative if they're flat-footed or shocked or any of this?
Well, the initial attack, yeah, they didn't get defense. They were like, ah! They were quite honestly planning on setting up an ambush. Once they got here and discovered, oh, they're through there, we'll just wait for them to come back. And we'll hide behind stalactites with bows and shoot them when they come out of the water.
That was a pretty
Thanks.
good plan.
Thanks, Teresa.
Initiative of 14.
Teresa didn't roll so well.
I did not.
Ferreodin.
$17 for initiative. Initiative is just the D6 plus whatever your initiative stat is, right?
Yep, that at first, yeah, initial base, and then you add a D6 to it. Ferreodin, you are up. What would you like to do?
Well, since I took that first round to capitalize on the surprise, I have not cast my magical armor, so Ameritrunks.
Okay, so you cast that on yourself. He's gesticulating and casting another spell. Darisha, you are up next. What would you like to do?
Well, you guys didn't roll well either.
No, they start with a low stat to begin with.
Oh, it's unfortunate. Sorry, who else is in this line?
The very next one was Burgol. He's got a bandage on his head where he got thumped into a wall.
Yeah. Right. Yes,
And-
I remember him.
You do see a claw mark on his clothes, a little bit of blood.
Yeah. Well, he shouldn't be so long. I succeed.
He will try to use his club to. No, he's gonna try. He's gonna try to dodge. He's much better at that.
Yeah.
When I
he
say
is.
much better, it's only a 7. Oh, but he rolls a 1. He dodges.
Ooh. Does he get an attack of opportunity?
Need the rule book?
Panic, Mark. I didn't botch, so I don't know why he would get an attack of opportunity. But...
He might get a riposte. This.
I don't think you can use the word riposte when it's a club.
On guard.
I think you kind of have to have riposte in order to actually use a riposte.
I think so.
Right, he's a hick.
Because that's a 40 AP ability right there.
I do get an attack of opportunity on a
Damn it.
critical success. But I get no bonus, no special ability, and it's -4 on my attack.
Eh.
So his attack is much lower, and he fails. But he swings at you. He dodges and swings at you.
Great.
He might have hit, except maybe the bandage slipped in his face. And it's their turn.
Finally.
So he will try to swing his club at you. And without the penalty, this will succeed. You can dodge or parry.
And who
I
is
shall
this
endeavor
attack
to
on?
dodge. Am I just rolling a d20 under my dodge?
Yes.
I don't like that.
I didn't either.
Oh, but I succeed.
Go to Risha.
Misses. He misses.
I don't critically succeed, so I do not get a riposte or an attack of opportunity.
Okay. Ragnar will try a feat of strength to try to push by you. Push you out, because you're in front of the thing, so he's going to try to push Burgal and you enough that they can get into.
Is he a dwarf?
He realizes sitting here one by one is not going to work. So he's going to try his feat of strength. So you can give me a feat of strength.
Okay, great.
I'm a
I
thinking.
completely forgot you guys, but I figure you're just
Yeah.
do the coins. Now, there's a lot of stuff in here. There's chests that are kind of, you got to figure out how do we get this back out? And what are we going to do with this stuff? Coins are easy. A lot of the jewelry, Nico, you can realize there's like heraldry worked into it.
Mm-hmm.
It would be hard to sell. You can maybe try to get it
it's-
back to the rightful nobility that it belongs to.
Yep. Because that's all about buying favors at that.
Oh, you'd be the hit of the North Marches.
I'm a thinking
Really?
that we can take some nice stuff, and then we can leave this. Then
Once you
people
get
from the
Risha,
village
it's
can
enough-
come and take
Opposed
the other stuff.
feats of strength. Do they fail you?
QL2.
Oh, I only got a QO1. It didn't have many points in it to begin with. I rolled so well and went, oh, QO1. He doesn't do anything. A couple
If I
in the
had
back
rolled
are going
poorly,
to try to shoot at you,
better
but
shape.
at penalties because you're in melee.
What?
Arrows kind of come sailing down, but it's hard, cramped, and you're in melee. So they skitter off the walls and go around.
I mean, I'm also wearing plate armor, but yeah, okay.
Now remember, if I do succeed, because missiles work a little different. Mechanically launched missiles, which are bows, your dodge or parry is -4. It's much easier to get stuck with an arrow. Thrown daggers, it's -2.
All right.
So do you guys decide to take some of this, maybe go back, report? You can take some of it with you, I guess, and try to swim back, but it's going to be the same thing going back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This could also be a situation where we just need to go back, acquire proper tools, and come back and excavate.
Okay. Pray with
Yeah.
me.
That's a bigger project.
I am gonna cast paralysis on. Okay, Jasper's down, right? Or did
He's unconscious.
he's
He's
unconscious?
laying on the ground.
And
Burgle,
Burgle
who was
is
pushed into the house.
was
has
Burgle
bandage
the one
on
with
his
the head
head.
injury,
Yeah, he's the one that has a big bandage on his forehead.
and he was kind of the next in line to come through.
Yes, he's swinging the club at Dorisha, kind of flailed about.
And who is behind him?
Ragna, the other of the three that did stuff.
Okay, I'm gonna cast paralysis on him. Ragnar.
Okay.
Let's see. That's 2 action. Yeah, that takes. Yeah, that's 2 actions. So that would be next turn, or
Yep, unless you
or
want to
goes
get
down
ready
in
to get
initiative.
No, it'll go off next turn unless somebody interrupts you by damaging you or doing something. So
Okay, then
unless again you want to make it harder to cast, and you can.
yeah,
make it
I'll make it harder, and I'll cast it this round for.
Okay.
And that just makes it 1 harder for each of the stats. Oh, that's not a good roll.
You like to hear that when you're spell casting.
And we have something like Edge or something that we could use to re-roll, right?
Fate.
Fate. I'm going to use Fate, and you could re-roll as is it re-rolling them all, or
It's up to you.
re-rolling
If one
as
of them's
much
a
as you want?
success, as many as you want. If one's a success and you just want to roll the others,
That's much better. Okay, so that succeeds. And you said that made it harder by 1 for each stat? Oh, no.
yes.
Or it means that the Arcana, it takes more energy.
No, it will be harder to cast because you're
Okay.
speeding it up instead of taking your time over 2 combat rounds to get the spell off. You're kind of hurrying it up, so it's harder to do. So all your numbers go up 1.
Shoot. Sorry. Where's that? Put that page right.
So instead of 14, 14, 14, it's 13, 13, 13. So it's a little bit harder to get under that number.
Right. Well, I rolled a 10, 6, or a 10, 6, and a 5. So
Then you made it, and your SR is 4, so that is QL2.
Okay. So level 1 of paralysis.
Now it's going to be modified by that person's toughness. So I have to look up real quick.
So it says duration is 4 minutes. Or, well, QL2 just. Oh yeah. So I'm confused.
There's a couple things that are happening here. One, I got to check their toughness because it's modified by their toughness, so that will also make it harder because you have to overcome the body's toughness to make this paralysis go into effect.
Right.
But I don't. It's by 2, but all your numbers were way low anyway,
Right.
so it won't affect what you need to do. So QL2 is 1 level of paralysis. So.
Right. And then it says a duration of QL times 2 in minutes, so that's 4.
Yep. For 4 minutes, they'll have. So it can still move, but it's a little bit slower. So he's going to have -1 on everything he tries to do. If you get high enough at level 4, you basically turn to stone and can't move. On the plus side, you can throw him off a cliff and it won't damage him. Can't poison him, can't damage him, can't do anything. So in the future, if you could get QL4, you can get around certain things because that person's stone. You can't damage them.
Right.
That's not the case, but they are feeling the effects of a level of paralysis. Darisha, what do you do?
I hit bandaged dude again.
He's rethinking his friendship with Jasper.
He's what?
Rethinking his friendship with Jasper. He gets him in trouble every time. He realizes now it's okay until he gets with Jasper, and then he gets in trouble.
Does he dodge?
Do you succeed?
Yes. What kind of question is that?
He attempts to dodge with a 17.
Sorry, that was rude. Hit with an 11.
11 points of damage.
That's correct.
Ugh! He will attempt to hit you with his club and not make it.
Yeah.
Ragnar will again try to push through because he can't reach you. At minus, never mind. Don't even bother.
Okay.
You do notice in the back, Alan, Gus, and Roger, their torches seem to move back and start to ascend the tunnel again.
Fair and reasonable. They ought to. They've seen how this goes.
You know what? The bear chewed on them.
They've already been beaten in the woods before. They don't need to be beaten in a cave.
Yeah. They had some of the bigger bite and claw marks. They're done. They're thinking maybe a life of piracy is for them instead.
Yo ho, yo ho.
A rollicking band of pirates we who tired of tossing on the sea.
And that's all.
Or maybe they'll just put on shows and sing about being a pirate.
That's the better option, honestly.
Yes. Maybe when you return to Vinsalt, you'll see them in the current production of the Pirates of Penzance.
I would sing some of that to you, but I'm not going to.
So there's lots you can do. So what are you guys doing in the room? Tying up a chest and dragging it along?
I think that was part of the plan, yeah.
Yeah. So this is the way I see. Hannaford is the best swimmer. If we all put the chest loaded with a selection of interesting things and down in the water, then she could swim. We have one end tied to the chest. She could swim to the other end and secure it, because I'm sure there's nothing going on in the other side of the cave. And then Nico and I, who are not such good swimmers, can pull ourselves quickly along the rope between the chest, and then we can all pull the chest back behind us.
Okay. Now this is just going to be a portion of it. By looking at all the stuff and sizes, you're going to need several days and mules and help to get all this back out. I'm
Yes.
and people to help you.
And buckets. People with buckets.
Yeah, or
Something.
one of those weird. You remember on the ship that you traveled, they had this weird device to keep water from filling the inside of the ship as it leaked.
Ilge.
Oh yeah.
And four guys would pump on it, and water would shoot off the side and back into the ocean.
Yeah, we are very far from the ocean and a ship, but yeah, maybe they got one.
Man, you never know. Okay, so you guys you're gonna start your
I
swim?
don't know what you think happens out in the wilderness, but you know we have wells.
You got a little rope and tied to a bucket, and it goes down in the well, right?
Yeah,
I don't know.
these city folk. I am specifically going to make a circuit looking for anything that would specifically have to do with the history of our village and our area.
In the area?
Mhm.
No, it's kind of just crude drawings and, as pastimes and derogatory things of, the Duke from 100 years ago smells of elderberries, that kind of thing.
Very well.
100 years ago, you don't even know if your village really existed. Might have just been a small farm that belonged to the Glimmerdales, pioneers on the frontier. Prayerden, is your turn again. You have armor troops on. You do notice there are less people in the hallway for some reason.
I guess I'll do Fulminectus on what's his name?
Wait,
Burgle, huh?
just so I understand, we have one person fighting Dorisha and one
Yep.
person paralyzed that can't take any damage.
Well, he can take
No,
damage.
he only has level 1, so he's a little bit slower, so he's -1 on everything he wants to do.
Ah,
He has to get to level 4 to be paralyzed completely. So he's just trying to push through, but he can't control his muscles. You have a few more that are trying to shoot bows, and some that aren't there anymore. And one's laying on the ground unconscious. So you're gonna hit the first guy fighting Dorisha with Fulminectus?
Yeah. And that's an auto hit spell, right?
Yeah, as long as it goes off, you just give me the damage and I write it down, ignore it in pro and everything. While we're waiting for the roll, don't forget, guys, if you're not looking at the chat, the Ulysses Con starts this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Again, there's a link. You can check it out. Want to do some online gaming? There'll be some Dark Eye stuff there. I'm sure they'll have some Torg and Fading Suns and other things if you're interested in it. I believe our normal GM, known as JM, is going to be discussing Myth that he's working on. If you haven't followed those fireside chats with him and Ross, I think they'll be there talking about Myth. So how dead is he, John?
Let's see. It looks like I missed it by 1, and I'm trying to figure out if I want to
Missed it by that.
spend a fate to re-roll.
You used all your points on it?
Huh?
You used all your points?
Yep. I rolled a 20, and so I spec 5 to bring it down to a 15. I needed a 14.
There you go. You might as well re-roll all the ones if you want, because
Well,
you
the
can
other
roll
ones
1,
are
2.
a 3 and a 10.
Okay, it's up to you then. Just re-roll the 1.
That's better. Okay, so yeah, that succeeds. Was what, a 5, which is a QL2, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep, 4, 5, 6 is QL2.
And I roll damage for that. So QL2 4 2d6 times 4
2d6 plus 6.
or 2d6. Oh. So 6 plus 6 is 12. 12.
Total, not 12 plus 6. Okay. Yeah. Blood splurts out his nose and his ears. Ah! Dorisha? He's still up.
Really?
He's not quite at the make a save or pass out.
How up is he? I've hit him with my hammer.
Yeah, and that hurt him. And Fulminictus just hurt him.
No. Again, I've hit him with my hammer just now.
Oh, I thought you were just stating a past tense. Okay, he will try to dodge at
It
a
was very
penalty.
unclear, but hit it is not correct past tense.
Okay, you hit him.
Yeah, I know. Nine damage. My dice don't like me.
Huh.
It's probably enough, but I'm
Yeah.
just saying.
It's horrible when you only do 9 points of damage. You kill him outright. He drops. Buzz, Neil, and Tom run.
Yeah, they ought to.
So the whole Apollo gang chat has fled. They were in on this. They were going to ambush. They had bows. They had a plan. They just can't face the dwarf. She just knocked
had
down the
bows
leader
and
and the next person. There's blood everywhere. We're done. They run. Ragna drops his club and says, I surrender.
Do you, Praedin, have rope still? Or are we out of rope?
There's
The
rope
rope
hanging
is-
in the shaft.
Up there.
All right. I take Regna's weapons.
Yeah, he just dropped it on the ground.
Yeah. And make sure he can't get to them. And
Okay.
I tell him to sit down and behave himself.
Okay, he does.
Was there still, so if memory serves, there was rope and tackle at the bottom of where we descended.
Yeah, all rotten.
Is it
frayed.
too rotted?
Yeah, it rotted. That's why the whole block and tackle, the weight of it fell
Oh, and
after
if my
100
math
years.
is correct, because it was like, what, a 50-foot?
Yep.
And we had two 30-foot string of rope. I could, cut off
You can cut
a
off.
span,
Yep.
of like 6 feet or so to tie them up.
You can.
We'll do
You
that.
can. So with that, you defeated the bandits once again. You guys swim back through with your rope, pull your chest out. You come out, you pull the rope, get the chest out, and then you realize there's Ragna and a dead Burgle and an unconscious Jasper. So you can tie him up or do what you want with him. He didn't bleed out, he's just unconscious from the pain.
I am going to leave it to Hannaford to decide what needs to be done.
Well, he needs to be taken back to the mayor. That's who decides these things.
All right.
Now, I'm not saying I'm not going to drag him the whole way by his feet.
You can kind of wake him up. He's unconscious, but you can do some simple. Yeah.
I am the last person to judge by whether someone is dragged by their feet or not.
I don't think you just want to drag him back up the thing because it's easier if he climbs himself or something to that effect. So what is your plan now to bring the chest of gold and silver, more silver than gold, honestly? Did someone have a commerce ability?
I do.
You can get a rough estimate of how much is in there.
If I can find it. There it is.
But your plan is to then take this money back as what, as proof
Teens.
that it exists and
Yeah,
What's
that's
the
the
plan
best
for
step.
all
And then,
treasure.
oh,
And the
hello.
The
Sorry.
mayor is the one that would negotiate and help distribute back to whatever places only is whatever you're talking about, but you want to be part of that conversation. I assume you're not planning to take your cut, i.e. the chest, without stopping back by.
Oh, not at all.
That is
I
way
gotta
too
give
much.
this I gotta give this a very nice glowing stone back to Alric, my good friend. I told him it looked very nice in his house.
Is the bear dead?
What's that?
Is the bear dead?
Yes, when you get up there, you don't find the bear, but you see a lot of blood.
Mm.
You're not sure if it's the bear's or theirs, but you don't find a dead bear. Maybe they just drove it off.
Mm.
Okay.
I have one more suggestion, and that is, I think our captives, Jasper and Ragna, would do very well carrying this very heavy chest while we watch them with our weapons.
Yeah, you can put in the work to carry it. It's slow going because, well, paralysis will eventually wear off from Ragna, but Jasper's pretty wounded. So he struggles to carry it, but you have no problems getting back to town. Just kind of want to know what your intentions. Takes you maybe 2.5 days to get back.
It's a QL2 on the commerce.
You figure roughly, for what it's worth, doesn't mean what you could sell it for, just because,
Right.
you know, some things are hard to sell. There's at least 1,000 ducats of treasure down there.
Wait, still down there? Or what's in the chest?
You really couldn't grab a whole lot. There's a lot down there. It will take you
Okay.
mules and carts and
Right.
days to haul it out chest by chest.
Okay.
And you'll have to replace the block and tackle to pull everything back up, that kind of thing. I mean, you can get your chest up that way, but anything heavy, real heavy, it's easy to have that block and tackle, and you can raise it up out of the hole.
And we're coming back with a bilge pump.
Or a bucket brigade.
You know, different things you can do. You can always freeze it and then break it into cubes and then move it out of the way.
I can't do that.
I don't know if he's that good at Corporal Frigio to do that, but he can also inflict cold pain on people. He can light them on fire or put them out with ice.
There you see,
My
friend
intention is to
Pradin.
head straight to the mayor's house.
Yeah.
So that
Okay.
he can start negotiating with the shifty people of higher class than me.
Wow.
What? Shifty.
And you'll have to clear out the
higher-
boulders because you got to climb up and over those and all that.
And Chad does have a good point. I did use up my intestine, and I need a replacement.
It's not coming from me.
Yeah. I don't know if you want to use the Bergdahl's intestines.
No, human intestines are too thin.
There might be a bear.
Oh, you want the bear? The bear ran off. You might have to drive it off again when it wants to come back. So you get back, you talk to the mayor. He's willing to organize labor to get this back. And what do you propose for a lot of the treasure? He's not sure if it's a good idea that all this remains in town, as it will make us a target for more banditry. But we could put some of it to work for our temple. How fortuitous.
I think that's a wonderful idea, and everything else. So we'd be happy to, help out and then take it off your hands.
I would say that for including Hannafrid in this number,
Absolutely.
that each one of the party that went to locate and validate the treasure should get 5%. The remaining 75% is the town's. Whether how you want to handle the how do I put it? The finances, or how you want to enrich your own town and make it more prosperous for your own people, is a different matter. My preference for my cut would be anything with heraldry, so that I can get it back to the people that it belongs to.
It's
And maybe a little small cash.
greatly simplified when the Duke hears about what happened. And you are
Who narked us?
The Duke! Yes! You know, it might actually be good that you could hire mercenaries or people to actually patrol the road for him.
the heraldry items would go back to the families, and you are, say, made a contact, Nicolo, since you are minor nobility.
Mhm.
You are invited to dine. You all are invited, and you meet the Duke, and he thanks you, and the village is allowed to keep some since they want to put it towards their temple. Alric donates the stone that will fill the light, or fill the temple with the light of Parain for years to come. And unfortunately, most of the treasure is taken, but you're all rewarded with 20 ducats for each for returning these items to the nobility. And they will be future contacts for Nicolo in the North Marches. And yes, there, where we pass forward to Gareth, to some of the families there, because all the royal, all the noble families have contacts in the capital. And for succeeding the late mail adventure, you all are rewarded 12 AP, which is your experience then to buy the future ranks that you would need in your skills and spells or combat and whatever you want to spell them on. You could have got more as a bonus for, say, rescuing Gisbert, who was supposed to wander off after Jasper, who went looking for something and is captured by the Apollo crew. And you would also get bonus experience for saving the fields, because Jasper and his friends were supposed to set it on fire as a distraction to steal the stone and the map. But we skipped all over that, and you saved the town from that.
Well, is it really skipping it if we actually never had to come across it, so we solved it by bypassing it?
That is one way to look at it.
I'm horrible about that, sorry. Don't ignore me.
No, that is one way to look at it, but unfortunately you will not get the AP for that.
That's cool. It's all good.
Hopefully you enjoyed the late mail and the interactions with the Apollo crew. They really aren't that inept. Darius is just that tough. And it's disheartening when your leader goes down under the hammer.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully you enjoyed the Dark Eye. Hopefully the chat enjoyed watching your take on late mail. Again, if you enjoy Dark Eye, check out their crowdfunding on Game on Tabletop. It started today. It's already funded, so you know where to go for. Any last minute thoughts from the party on how well they liked the Dark Eye? Darisha is the only one that has played this before. Everyone else was new to the game. Did you like the 3 D20 rolls on skills?
It definitely adds nuance.
It does.
Yeah.
Instead of just one roll, it kind of spreads out. Well, why did you fail? Was it strength? Was it courage? You couldn't climb the cliff because you lost your courage, or whatever the
Right.
appropriate.
Exactly.
And it kind of it kind of mitigates the min-maxing, just playing.
Yeah, you can't. You
playing
really
the
get looking
captain
at.
characters because it
Yep.
kind of spreads them out onto the stats. I do like that. Combat is just a single die though, and I thought it was a little incongruous with that.
I think they
Um,
changed it in this edition just to make it a little bit simpler. And I don't know if they had multiples before, but instead of rolling 3 for it, it's like, okay, pick one. It's either Dex or your strength, depending on kind of weapon you're using, melee or range combat.
Right.
It is an extra step for parrying, but if you have a fighter with a shield, you can be very survivable because parry with a shield is much easier. And it's easier to intercept. It's the only way you can parry missile weapons, daggers and arrows and such, is you have a shield. You can't, John Wick it and knock it out of the air with your sword. Or Bruce Lee it, or I don't know, the appropriate reference. Well, I'm glad you liked it. Again, our next stream on Thursday, we'll be back to the regular Fading Suns. Maybe sometime in the future, the intrepid band of heroes, anti-heroes, I don't know, adventurers. We'll meet again for a short adventure if needed on our stream.
Yes.
Keep your character sheets handy. Again, hope you enjoyed the Dark Eye. If you want more of it, there is the Ulysses Con this weekend. Links are in from our wonderful producer. And with that, we went a little bit late, but hopefully had a great time. Good night.
Good night.
Some of you again on Thursday.